We're delighted to be meeting with you this evening and seeing your faces here for the first time over Teams. And we're really looking forward to having you in Milan soon. So this is the online pre-departure orientation. We're going to have in-person orientations, of course, when you get here. So we'll be going over some of these materials again in person. But tonight I just wanted to tell you that, just a little bit about what's coming up because, you've decided to come to Italy for the summer for a month to learn Italian and study the language, study the culture also. Italy is an extremely beautiful place, or I could say that there's a huge concentration of both beauty and diversity here in Italy and in Milan. That's on on a natural level, naturalistic level. So you've got around Milan, just to say, we've got beautiful lakes and mountains. The coast is nearby. Also on a like a fabricated way, the cities, the artwork. You have beautiful piazzas, churches, canals. We're going to be going to Venice. And then every city and every region of Italy is a little bit different from one another. So there's a lot of diversity here in the way that people speak the Italian a little bit, their accents, the type of food. So food, of course, and the people are going to be another important part of your experience here. People in particular, because you're gonna have the opportunity to not just interact with us as the center staff here in Milan, but also with real Italians who are living here. You'll be living in families. You'll be meeting those families and have that opportunity, which is a rare opportunity actually, to be able to interact with locals, use your Italian, and really soak up that experience firsthand. So as the slides say, Maria, could you move forward with the slide? In today's, agenda, we're going to talk about, we'll tell you who we are, but one thing, the second part of the agenda here is to get ready for your adventure, right? So it is, of course, going to be a really exciting adventure, and there'll be amazing things to do here, and I think you'll all probably be blown away by the things that I was, just describing when you actually are here in person and experience it firsthand. But it is also, it can be a challenge to go abroad, to live in a new place for a month, meet new people, learn a new language, and that sort of thing. And so you're in good hands. We have an incredible staff in Milan. Everyone's gonna introduce themselves now in the next slide. But we're here to support you in in all of the different things that you're going to be doing this summer, starting with this first introduction in the online pre-departure orientation. Maria, could you move ahead? So this is our center staff. We haven't put on the slide everyone's titles, but each of us can tell you what we do. I've told you I'm the center director. I'm managing various programs that are happening at our center in Milan, but I'll be working really closely with the language and culture programs that you're coming on this summer and helping to support our high school team. Angela?
Hello, everybody. It's great to have you here today to talk about this exciting program you're going to be on for the summer. My name is Angela Lavecchia, and I'm Academic Director for CIEE Milan. So I work with instructors and all of the things that are related to the courses, and also the co-curricular activities that are organized for the courses we offer here in Milan. So I'm going to be involved with the program you're going to be on this summer.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria Leimone. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the project manager here in CIEE Milan for the high school programs. We're super excited to be welcoming you soon, and it's really nice to see all your faces here, have your applications. It's always great when we see you joining the OPDO, is actually getting to know you a little bit more. I'll be your point of reference here, and we'll be working with your PLs, so your program leaders, and we'll will be making sure we're here to support you and making this a super exciting opportunity for you all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beatrice or Beatrice. I'll respond to either one. My pronouns are she, hers. It is a pleasure meeting you all on this call today. There's a lot of you, so we're really excited. I'm the Student Life Manager for CIEE Milan, and this is also my first time running the Global Navigator High School program since summer. I work specifically on co-curricular activities and also housing for most college programs. So I'll be looking forward to meeting you all in person and getting to know you more throughout the summer. So I'll pass the word to my colleague, Helen.
Hello all, my name is Helen Bovey and I am the homestay coordinator here in Milan. I work with families, I recruit them, and I mostly support all of you throughout your homestay. And I'm very excited for that, and I'll pass the word over to Anna.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Artieri and I'm the program assistant for the program. I work with Beatrice and Maria, supporting them with activities, and Altea is the other program assistant with me, and she's working with Ellen. You're gonna meet her like when we all meet in person. I'm very excited about, and also in the call there are the program languages if you wanna introduce yourself. Not languages, sorry, program leader. I'm so sorry.
Let's have the program leaders introduce themselves. And
well, I can start.
Perfect, thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Ludovica Mancini. I'm from Rome, Italy, and I will be your local program leader for this summer program in Milan, and I'm very excited to meet you all.
I can go next. So my name is Francesco Campobasso. I am from Chicago, Illinois. I will be the program leader for session 1, and I'm excited to meet each and every one of you.
May I?
Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'm Khadija Tira from Italy, from Torino. I'm super excited to be one of your program leader, and I'm quite sure that this summer will be a life-change experience for you, and we are all here to support you and to make the summer an incredible summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Susan. I'm from Wisconsin. I'll be your program leader for session 2. I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you and helping you understand the Italian language and culture even more deeply than you do already.
Thank you all. Thank you.
I think we may also have Daniela on the call.
Yes, yeah.
Our 5th program leader. So can we have her introduce herself?
Yes, I'm Daniela Luby. I'm based in San Francisco and I'm leading session 2. Looking forward to meeting you all as well.
Great. Thank you all. Okay, so we have our program leaders, but we also have our Italian language and culture instructors. Angela, would you like to tell us a little bit more about each of the teachers, please?
Of course. So you see their names and their pictures here. We're going to have 2 instructors for session 1 and 3 for session 2. Valentina Zaccarelli is going to be the lead instructor for both sessions. And she is currently teaching Italian at different universities in Italy. And she's also taught Italian for CIEE college programs in the past. Another instructor for session 1 and 2 is going to be Amelia Katia Lillis. She has lived in the US for more than 30 years now. She has taught Italian in Maine, New Hampshire, and Florida. And she's also worked for middle school programs to support students and families whose first language is not English. And then we have Silvia Bernati, who's going to be one of our instructors for session 2. She is currently teaching Italian to our college students in Milan. And she has also taught in the last 10 years with several, she studied Italian at several institutions, both public and private here in Milan.
Right, perfect. Thank you. Sorry, there seems to be a problem with the presentation, but okay. We've got this. Okay, fine, perfect. All right, let's get you ready for your new adventure then. What makes a successful candidate? Right, let's see what you participants need to know before you come.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Okay, work. So what makes a successful participant? So the first thing is to be curious. It's like the only thing that you have really to take your mind, to be curious, to like be open-minded that you are in another country. There are other rules, other like traditions. So just be flexible and patient. Like avoid to do comparisons to home. It's very important this, so you can enjoy your staying better. And if you have any doubts, you can ask us. You can ask the PLs and ask for us when you need it. If you miss home, if you miss your friends, if there is something that it's not working for you, let us know. We will help you to enjoy this beautiful experience that awaits for you. And also stay positive and focused. It's gonna be great. And you can write in the chat if you want what you are most excited about to come to Milan and see.
Yeah, it would be great to see what excites everyone. Cool. Thank you, Anna. Are we going to Beatrice?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So we wanted to also sort of go through some of the most common challenges. This is because we wanted to have fun, but we also want to make sure that we set the realistic expectations about what study abroad may look like for you while you're here on program with us. A lot of the activities we have planned for you require a lot of walking on a daily basis. That may be for an academic activity or for climbing up 300 steps to get on top of the Duomo of Milan. So comfortable shoes or sneakers are always your best friends. We realize this may be the very first time you're living with people you've never met before and being on a program with people you've never met before, including us, right? So most of you might not know each other. So I would advise you to remain patient with one another as you're all new to the program and you're all experiencing sort of the same thing, which is studying abroad in different countries where you've never been before, right? So you may have different personalities, but chances are that you're sort of experiencing the same feelings of feeling a little bit alienated somewhere else in the world. For some of you, this will also be the very first time traveling and having to adjust to living in a large city, such as Milan. My personal advice for you is to do some research ahead of time about the city that you're traveling to and the different neighborhoods that are part of Milan. As much as I'm an advocate about getting lost in a city that you don't know, and I think that sometimes that's the best way to learn about a new location. Doing some research beforehand may really lessen the anxiety around coming to study abroad. Navigating the city by subway, bus, or train might also be new to you, depending on where you are from in the US. We literally just had actually this past semester in the spring, a college student who came on our spring program and said, I've never had to use a subway in my life. So I'm terrified. I have no idea what to expect, right? So we will explain to you how to navigate a city. But again, I would advise you to remain patient with yourself. You're new here, so it'll take a little bit of time to getting used to it, to getting used to a new public transport system with different subways and buses as well. As this is sort of a new uncomfortable situation for you and you'll need a little bit of time. Try new food and different ways of eating. In my experience, the feedback that we receive having worked, in study abroad for some time is that the Italian diet tends to be a little bit more carb-based than what students may be accustomed to. It takes some time to get used to new cuisine, obviously. So in Italian culture, food is almost like a love language. So I would advise you to stay open-minded, challenge yourself to try new foods and maybe some things you've never even considered or tried before. Then we realized that you're arriving in Milan in the middle of summer, so June and July. So acclimating to temperatures of 50 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit without sometimes air conditioning, depending on the activity that you're doing, may be a challenge. My personal advice for you is to always stay hydrated, bring appropriate clothing, sunglasses, hat, and sunscreen with you at all times. The first few days may be especially tough, as you're all of a sudden kind of thrown into a new environment, away from your families and feeling homesick and getting over the jet lag still. You might be feeling frustrated as you're still embracing the cultural differences and you're going through your own cultural shock, right? So always lean on your program leaders and communicate with them how you're feeling. Your program leaders are going to be your support system. And so as you're sort of navigating these new aspects of living in a new culture, make sure that you ask them for support when it comes to tips on how to manage how you're feeling. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so I'll pass the word back to Maria. I think you're muted, Maria.
So sorry, and I was so excited. Excitement. Okay, let me repeat. So let's leave the challenges for now and focus on what makes us excited about this trip. And from what I see in the chat, you're all super happy to meet new friends. I'm really glad to see that, because that is the number one thing you get to do here, meet people from different places and get to know each other while being on the program. And of course, practicing your Italian language skills, which I also need to do, I have to say. Meeting and living with local people, your host families will be great. They'll help you through this experience, and taking pictures of the beautiful Milan. I'm sure you've seen lots of reels online or TikTok videos, but different places to visit. You'll have the opportunity to do that and get amazing pictures here. And of course, if you're here for the pizza, raise your hand. That's why I'm here for. Delicious pasta, delicious cuisine. I'm Greek myself, and I have to say, I love Italian cuisine more. So also, a sneak peek into the activities we have organized for you. We're gonna go on an overnight trip to Venice, so you'll get to see not only the big city center, but experience a very, very unique town in Italy, but I think in the whole world, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We hope you'll enjoy it. Okay. So let's go more practical stuff now and focus on your travel and arrival information. Before I start, I just have to let you know that get more details prior to your arrival, but we'll go through some basic information you need to know now, and then a few days before the start of the program, you'll get more detailed information about this. So make sure you try to stay as healthy as possible prior to your arrival here. Try to do everything to limit your exposure to any illnesses, and at least 10 days before visiting Italy. Make sure that if your health changes in any way, please make sure you contact the HSA abroad, so they will know in case we need any accommodations to make here in Italy. Say, for example, you have to use crutches. That would mean we'll have to organize all the activities accordingly, making sure, for example, that you won't be in a building where you have to use the stairs. All this kind of simple accommodations that we could, of course, do if we know in advance. So please make sure you inform the team in the US before your arrival here. Okay, in terms of the documents, you need to know that in Italy, you by law have to carry a document, an ID document all the time with you. That doesn't mean you have to have the physical copy of your passport, for example, and risk losing it. But we would recommend that you bring your passport as well as a photocopy and a photo on your phone that you can show at all times. So make sure you do that before you come. Your parent guardian consent to travel form, very important, as well as your INEX travel insurance card or the email you got to be covered in case of health emergency. Now, for more detailed information regarding this, you'll have to check your CIEE travel tips and packing list in your CIEE account under the reading section, where you'll find all this helpful information. And I would really advise you to do so before you start planning and packing. Make sure your suitcases have a tag with your name on, as well as your contact details, and bring an extra change of clothes in your carry-on case in case something and your suitcase gets lost. That's what we want you to get for this, but if it be, make sure you have a few changes in your carry-on to pick up for the first few days. Okay, now regarding cell phone and communication, you must bring your phone with you, so you need to be able to reach CIEE, your family, and so we can be in position to reach out to you as well. To do that, we would strongly advise you to have a phone with internet and international data plans to cover your travel days. Have to check with your provider. Otherwise, you can access Wi-Fi in most airports. When you arrive, you'll be able to connect there and let your parents, let your legal guardians know that you are safe, you've arrived. They'll be very worried for you, so make sure you send this text that they'll be waiting for. Please also make sure that your cell phone number is listed and it's correct on your CIEE account, and it matches the phone you'll be traveling with. This is very important for our emergency notification system. During orientation, we're going to have a trial, so we don't want your parents to receive that text instead. Please make sure your cell phone is listed correctly on your account, okay? Very important. So while on the program, I know internet and data will be something you'll be very interested to know more about. So the best way, I would say, would be if you will be able to bring your phone with an international plan on. Now, if that's not the case, if you're not able to do that, a CIEE can provide you with a SIM card or an eSIM card, depending on the phone you've got. Now, in order to make things easy, a little bit easier for us and to organize that in advance, we would like to receive an email from you if you need a CIEE provided SIM card or an eSIM. Or if your phone is locked, we will be in a position to provide you with a rental phone. So if you need a SIM card or an eSIM card, or if you'll be needing a phone, please make sure you email us on this email address you see on the PowerPoint presentation that you will also be receiving with the recording. So we can organize things for you and you'll be ready and set to go for the program. If you're planning to come to Italy with your own international calling plan, there's no need for you to email us at all. Okay, so we'll only need to hear from you if you need us to organize this for you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now on travel day, be flexible and expect the unexpected. Airlines are very busy during summertime and very often there are long delays and things don't go as planned. So make sure you keep calm and you have all your documents ready and your cell phone fully charged. You know that in the various airports, they're always charging stands where you can use to make sure your phone is fully charged for us to be able to contact you, for your families to be able to contact you, and for you to be in a position to contact any person you need. You need to arrive to your airport at least 3 hours before your departure and have all the required documents with you. So you're prepared to hand them to the airline officials, and have all your phone numbers for CIEE and your family written down and ready to use if needed. That includes the program leader that will be accompanying you on the flight if you're on one of these flights. And so you sign up for the app for your airline, so you'll get updates in real time. It's really important if the gate number changes, if there are any changes in the schedule, you'll be able to find out earlier than having to wait at the airport. It's important to have the emergency contact information as well. So you'll tell us or your program leaders about any changes, and make sure you have access to some money for snacks and meals or baggage fees that might occur, and make sure you can make calls and send texts while you're abroad in order to contact us here in Italy in case you need support or if your travel plans change. Okay, more specific to your arrival day now here in Malpensa Airport. Malpensa is a big airport, so to help you a little bit as to how to go through this, once you get off the plane, you go through passport control and you have your passport stamped, and then you need to follow the signs to the baggage pickup to pick up your suitcases. Once you've done that, you'll head for the taxi stand area, so in Terminal 1, where the CIEE staff will be waiting for you, wearing CIEE t-shirts and carrying signs with them. So hopefully we won't be easy to miss. But yeah, we'll be there waiting for you. And we will travel together by private bus to Glam Hotel, which is the hotel you'll be staying the night for, and your first night out, where we're gonna have our welcome dinner at as well. Okay, now I'll pass it over to Beatrice.
Sure. When it comes to the on-site arrival orientation, we wanted to make sure that we could emphasize the fact that we really advise you to sort of paying attention during the in-person orientation. We understand that it's a lot of information, you're jet lagged, you're extremely tired, but the information we're going to be providing on the first few days is really essential for you to have a successful program and a successful experience here. We're going to be balancing the information with icebreakers and team building activities. We want to make sure you're engaged, you're staying awake throughout the entire time. We're going to be showing you around town, and sort of like the neighborhood around CIEE Milan and the classroom space. So that you get acquainted with what a pharmacy looks like, an ATM machine looks like, and sort of like the different kind of tricks that you should be made aware of in terms of like practical information for while you're here in Milan with us. The orientation is going to be taking place at the classroom space. On day one, we're going to be actually at the hotel. On the second day, we're going to be at the classroom space in the Isola neighborhood, which is, I would say, one of the greener neighborhoods in Milan, and you're going to love it. And obviously, we're also going to be going through academic orientation, the Globo Navigator Italian Language Pledge, what cultural shock may look like for you here, and the different sort of like Italian culture norms and stereotypes that you may think about when you think about Italy, and then sort of like an idea of what actually may look like for you to live here and homestay family. And then we're obviously also going to be going through the health, safety, and security portion of orientation, which is very important for you to better understand what are the local services and resources, what is the protocol in place in case of emergency, And we're going to be going through also the bystander intervention training so that you're better equipped to be an active participant in your program and to sort of de-escalate potentially problematic situations that you may be sort of witnessing while you're here in Italy with us. Okay, so I'll leave it to our homestay coordinator, Helen.
All right, so after you guys are all prepared to go into your homestays, because you have all your information from orientation, you will move into your homestays. Now, students will all stay with local hosts who have been vetted and interviewed by CIEE homestay team. Most of these families will be within 30 to 60 minutes from the CIEE center, some within 75, and you will all have breakfast and dinner every day with your homestay. Now, lunch will be covered by CIEE at local restaurants during the week, and then on weekends you will be able to also have lunch with your host families. That way you have more time to spend together, more host family time. It's going to be very fun. Now, your laundry will be done in your homestay. Host families offer to do laundry once a week for participants, but if anything should happen where you need more laundry, just make sure you communicate with them and let them know. And this goes for everything. Everything in Italy will be a little bit different than things are at home. Clearly, there are some cultural differences, and there are differences that are quite simply relative to the fact that it's a different house. Faucets will be different. You'll be a little bit disoriented. So just make sure to let your host family know if there's anything that confuses you, and they'll immediately help you with anything that you need help with. Oh yes, so Maria is now going to tell you all a little bit about your daily schedule, things that are besides meals. Yes.
Thanks so much. Okay, so this is only an example of what a typical day will be like for you. Fridays will be a bit different, so we'll start with Monday to Thursday. In the mornings, you're going to have your breakfast with your host families, and then you'll commute to the classroom space and the CIEE center. We've discussed that this might take from 30 to 60 minutes or 75 in some cases, depending on where the host family is located. Now, you're going to have your Italian language and culture courses in the morning, very exciting, and then engage into your community conversations. After that, we'll give you some time to enjoy a nice lunch in the Isola neighborhood. The different restaurants that have an agreement with CIEE, and then after lunch, so that will be around 2:30 every day, 2:30 to 3 o'clock, we'll have activities planned for you, where your PLs will be joining us, and we'll all together enjoy. I guess I can give out some of the activities we've planned for you. We'll be having a cooking class, for example. We'll be making pizza all together, and hopefully we'll eat that then, and you'll bring this recipe back home. And we'll be enjoying the view from the roof of the Duomo, and we have lots and lots of activities that I don't really want to give you too many details now, because I want to see the excitement on your face when you join us. And then in the evenings, when the activities are done, you're gonna be joining your host families and your journal reflections, and have dinner all together. This is very important. This is gonna happen every single day. All right, and then Fridays are a bit different. You have your Italian language lessons in the morning, and you'll have lunch always with your program leaders and the group that each program leader has, so all the students together. And then you have free time to explore the city, which might sound exciting, but at the same time, we want to make sure you'll be safe during this time. So it is a requirement for you to always use the buddy system. Don't want anyone be wandering off by themselves. And at the same time, you need to check in with your program leaders at least every 2 hours to make sure they know where you are at all times. Following that, when free time's over, go back to your host families and have dinner with them. You'll have to be home for dinner every day. Okay, this is very important for you to build a nice relationship with your host family. Now, the weekends will be basically more than anything time for you to enjoy your time with the host family and have a structured day trip on Saturday. We'll all be doing together. And towards the end of the program for both sessions, we'll have an overnight stay in Venice. We're going to stay there for 3 days, 2 nights. We'll do lots of sightseeing as well as trying the different food in the area. And then on our way back, we'll head to Padova, where we'll explore the city for a few hours and then head to Milano, to a hotel close to Milano Malpensa airport. So you'll be there the night before, ready to catch your flights the next morning at the end of the program. Okay, Angela, would you like to continue with this?
Sure. So here you have
Thank you.
information about the address for the CIEE Center as well as where the classrooms are going to take place. It's both of the buildings are in the Isola neighborhood. For the CIEE Center, the address is Via Medardo Russo 18. Classrooms are at your room, Via Pastrengo 14. These are less than 5-minute walk from one another. In Milan, you can find as public transportation, streetcars, metros, buses. CIEE will provide monthly unlimited transportation cards for you. It's very important that you update your CIEE account photos so that we can use that to get you those cards. Most public facilities will have Wi-Fi so that you can use that for FaceTime or WhatsApp. There will be Wi-Fi available at the location where you're going to have classes and also at the CIEE Milan Center.
Okay, so now going through some local health and safety notes. We want you to be aware that the program leaders and CIEE Center staff are available 24/7 for emergencies. Health and safety and security is a big part of the on-site orientation. And both program leaders and students will receive more health and safety guidelines while they arrive on their first day. The program leaders are really your go-to, and you have to that's why we really encourage you to build a rapport with them really early on, because it'll be your point of reference even before the CIEE Center staff. We advise you to be vigilant in tourist areas and explore the city always with a friend. Actually, that's mandatory for the program. So when you have your free time on Fridays, you always have to be with a peer, and you have to check in, as Maria mentioned before, with your program leader every 2 hours, just to make sure that they know you're safe, that everything is okay, and that you're not lost somewhere. Okay. When it comes to also safety within the city, Milan is generally a safe city, but pickpocketing and petty theft are the most common crimes. One advice I would have for you is anytime that you're in tourist areas, if someone is trying to approach you to sell like a bracelet, I would say kind of politely move away and say no thank you, because a lot of times, unfortunately, that's one way where pickpocketing actually happens, and the next thing you know, your watch is gone or your wallets are gone. So just kind of stay away from those kind of situations if possible. If you're not feeling well, pharmacists can be your very first helpful resource as well. Or you should be reaching out to a local doctor. Obviously, you could do that also through a program leader. That's something we really recommend. Something as well we want you to know is that tap water in Milan is safe and meets all EU regulations for potable water quality standards. So personally, speaking about sustainability, I would really recommend that you bring a massive water bottle with you and you fill it up as you go, because there's lots of water fountains around Milan and in most of the places that you actually be traveling to, also for trips such as Venice. We can move on to the next slide.
Okay, perfect.
I'll leave it back to Maria.
Yeah, here I am again. Okay, so you can see you've already asked a few questions about this, but yes, during your free time, you're expected to comply with all the program rules and the CIEE Center guidelines, and you'll have a very detailed orientation on that during your first day. So we'll make sure you know what the expectations are during the program. So any kind of guidelines you receive apply not only during the time we're together, but also during any unsupervised time. And if I may say, especially then, because that's when you'll be by yourselves. You need to keep a charged connected cell phone with you at all times. I would advise you bring a power bank with you. It's easy to use and always have it charged as well. And yeah, we've covered that you'll have to check in with your program leaders every 2 hours. And then when you arrive at the host family, it would be great if you can just send them a text and say, hey, I'm home, everything's fine, good night. Because here in Italy, families have dinner a bit later. From Sunday to Thursday, you're expected to be home by 9, and Friday to Saturday by 10 p.m. And during the weekends, when you have your time with your host families, of course, you have to make sure they're okay. They know with the time you're going out, they know where you're going, that you treat them as you would behave with your parents. So they'll need to know you're their responsibility as well. You'll need to always communicate your plans to them. Okay, and talking about communication, we would like to discuss the flow of communication while you'll be on the program, because it's very, very important for everyone, legal guardians included in that, that the right flow of communication is from student to the local host or the program leaders. Your program leaders will always be your main point of reference. They'll be the ones that will contact us. They'll be the ones that will inform us for any kind of incident. You call the program leader calls us, and we address the situation. It might be that something small that the program leader can manage themselves, or something that we'll need to step in and deal with instead. So then from there, we'll bring that to the families as well. It's very important to respect this flow of communication, because if, as you might naturally do, like your first instinct will be, oh, let me call my family instead, which family is in the US, then they won't be in a position to help you. You'll worry them a lot, and at the same time, they won't be able to help in the situation. We're going to be here. Your program leaders, your local hosts will be here. We are the first point of reference. Believe me when I say that there's nothing we want more than support you during your stay here. So please reach out to us first to make sure we deal with things promptly, and we won't waste any time. Okay. Okay, when should the legal guardians expect to hear from us here locally? That would be in cases where there is a significant medical event, or if there's a health and safety incident, if the participant is experiencing a severe mental health concern that might impact their ability to remain on the program, if there is some issue with their housing, so if they need to change accommodation for any reason, and of course, if there are any conversations regarding the participants' behavior. And so then we will reach out to the legal guardians, make sure they are aware of the situations. We'll contact them immediately. Okay, and with that, I'll bring back to Angela.
Yes, so here you see important contexts for you when you're going to be here and for your families and guardians as well. There's a US-based CIEE high school outbound team that you can reach out to. There's a phone number and an email address. We also have a CIEE Milan emergency phone that can be used by participants when they are on site. You just need to make sure you add +39 before you dial the number. And we also have, of course, a country emergency phone that works like 911, which is 112. There's also an app available. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, here's what we recommend when it comes to money. CIEE recommends that participants have access to $40 per week. There are many ways to access money here in Italy. The easiest is to use a bank card. To do so, you should be sure to inform your bank so that they know that you'll be traveling to Europe. Otherwise, they may block your card due to suspicious activities. There are many ATMs around the city, so you can use your cards there also to get cash. It would be better than exchanging money, so bringing dollars from the US and exchanging them here. Getting cash might be easier from ATMs. Be aware that most places not accept American Express and Discover cards in Europe. It would be a good thing to have like some cash on you and also a debit card so that you can have two different ways to pay for whatever you need in case one card doesn't work, for example.
Okay, and I can see lots of questions about the adapter. So here it is. Here is our packing list, or rather our recommendations for what to pack with you. But you should always refer to your Know Before You Go course for packing advice that's more detailed than that. So of course you'll need your passport that we would recommend you keep in your purse or your carry-on rather than the big suitcase, because it might, well, get lost. To keep a photocopy of your passport in a bag separate from where you keep your physical passport. Comfortable summer clothes for classroom and for athletic clothing for the day trips. Very, very comfortable shoes. I would say more than one pair of sneakers or trainers that you like, because we'll have to walk a lot and we'll enjoy every minute of it. And probably a sweater or a cardigan for cooler evenings, or a rain jacket and an umbrella. You might need your bathing suits or beach towels, and hats and sunglasses and sunscreen for sure. Make sure it's the first thing you put in your luggage. Backpack with the zip for traveling and day trips, as well as the weekend activities we'll be doing. A reusable water bottle and a converter or an adapter like the one in the picture here that you can easily find on Amazon. It's got different types of adapters for every European faucet, so it's going to be useful and handy even if you decide to travel to different destination in the future. You can use that one instead of buying a different one in every single country. If you need to take any medication, make sure you have all your prescription medication with you, as well as a copy of your prescription, very important. And you have to make sure that you have enough medicine to keep for the whole stay of the program. Include any required technology and chargers for your electronic devices. I'm sure we won't forget that once, because we won't want to leave our phone without a battery, I guess. And an unlocked phone or an international plan, as we discussed, and your credit debit card. So I know that some banks nowadays don't require that anymore, but you might want to check with your bank, make sure you inform them that you'll be traveling abroad and you'll be using your card in Italy to avoid having the card blocked for suspicious activity. Avoid overpacking, because I'm sure you're going to buy lots of souvenirs and clothes here, so you want to leave space for the things you're gonna buy here. and take a picture of your luggage, because very often in these big airports, you might want to make sure you know which one is yours, and also in case it's damaged during the flight, you'll know beforehand and you can fill in a claim. Okay, now back to Beatrice.
Okay, so a fun slide here. So we just wanted to talk about you showing off your school spirit. So to participate in our Spirit Week photo contest, which is going to be taking place on week 2 of the program, we ask you to pack a piece of clothing or accessory that probably displays your high school spirit. We also advise you to actually bring your swag with you on day 1 and wear it so that we could easily recognize you on day 1 when you're arriving at the airport. It would be really helpful for us. It's a lot of you, and I'm sure that will make for fantastic pictures for your family back home that sees that you arrived okay here in Milan. While abroad, take a photo of yourself wearing your school spirit in front of a famous landmark, or while proudly displaying your host country. And then you would have to share with us at tag CIEE Global Navigators for a chance to win $50. So I'm sure you want to run for that. So don't forget to bring your swag. And then I'll pass the word next to Anna.
Hi everyone, again it's me. I'll be the social media manager of the Instagram account of CIEE. You can start following CIEE on Global Navigators on TikTok and Instagram. You can tag us, and we will see we will see your content and reposting, and then there are like contests every week, so you can win prizes, and also you can share posts using your program hashtag, which is CIEE Milan. And also you can follow us on Instagram to see like what we did this semester and how's the city. There are some tips for you also. And finally, there is the Refer Your Friends. I think you heard of this, but you can access in your page to Refer a Friend feature, and you can share you can share a discount with any friend to any CIEE program, and it's a win-win because you all win the prize, and there is no limit to the number of referral that you can make. Thank you. Now I guess it's time for questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. So we hope we've covered most of your questions, but this is a time for you to ask every single question that comes to mind. So please, if you would like to raise your hand and turn your mic on, or if you'd rather write in the chat.
I did see one question come in that I thought would be great to throw over to y'all. Someone asks that during free time, is there a limit as to how far the participants can travel and explore the city?
I can take that question, Laura. Stephen, Center Director. So students are expected to stay in the city during free time and have in special permission if, to leave the city in general. But no, they should plan on staying in the city. But Milan the city center is not extremely big. So we will provide participants with really detailed information about, what we consider to be the city center, though, so it's clear to everyone.
Is there any way that we can get a copy of these slides in case we want to refer back to them at a later time?
Yes, I can answer that actually. So you'll have access to the Opti recording in about a week. It's either going to be distributed to you via your email or uploaded into your CIEE account. Okay, and it looks like we have a question from Jacqueline. If you want to go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, I remember you guys saying something about the SIM card release from CIEE. How would you go about that?
Okay, I can take this question. So regarding the SIM card, you'll need to write an email to us and specify whether you'll need an eSIM card or a regular SIM card, and we'll make sure we provide that to you upon arrival.
All right, thank you.
Problem. I'll write the email address in the chat so you'll have it. Okay.
All right, we have another question. Muhammad, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
I know my question was answered, but I want to be more clear about it. I know like in some countries wearing like, you know, a tank top and stuff isn't really you know, like perceived well. So should we avoid clothes like that, or is it okay since it's the summer?
I can answer this if that's okay. All right, so
Go for
I would
ahead.
say, yeah, no, so surely a tank top will be okay. Just, you know, be mindful that you're, of course, in a big city, everyone dresses differently. Yeah, you want to dress comfortably, and so I would say try not to wear anything, you know, super short shorts or super short tank tops, just because it's just not very fashionable in Milan to dress this way, and old ladies on the street will look at you. But besides that, you have full freedom of wearing whatever you want. That's my personal advice as someone who grew up here in Milan.
Great, thanks. And in terms of folks who have raised hands, it looks like we have Sophia. And then after Sophia, we have Paul. So Sophia, if you want to go ahead and unmute, please.
Hello, can you hear me okay? Hi, it's actually Sophia's mom. Incognito under Sophia's name. I'm just wondering, when the kids are, you know, say 75 minutes away from the Milan city center, are they commuting by themselves or with the buddy, or the host family kind of helps with that? How does that look like? Or does that both maybe?
I can take this one as well as a homestay coordinator. When students have longer commutes, it's mostly because host families will be driving them part of the way in order to support the student for part of their voyage. And for the most part, if we have further placements, we try to place students in pairs or in small groups just so that they have somebody to commute with every day. And we also try to put program leaders closer to these areas so that they can also be of support at any point throughout the day or throughout the night or anything. So, yeah.
And then to follow up,
Sure.
when the participants are enjoying their free time, say on no Fridays, is that too where they're commuting back home themselves, or is there like some sort of arrangement where they go in groups? And essentially, what does that look like? You know, when they stay a little longer up in the city, or help me understand that piece. Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to have all students hang out in groups or at least pairs when they're exploring the city or enjoying their free time. For the most part, the students will be with their host families during the time that is not class time or activity time. So the time when they will be alone per se, they will be hanging out with other kids, and I would say they'll be supported by other people when they're commuting alone. Yeah. If I'm not sure, I hope I answered your question. Is it specifically? Oh, sorry. I see. Could whoever is not muted at the moment mute themselves just so that I make sure I can hear Sophia's mom?
No,
Thank you so much.
You definitely addressed kind of some of the questions I had, and the only other
Okay,
one,
good.
sorry, I don't want to hijack.
No, go ahead.
Um, and this could be kind of an open-ended. There's been some political unrest, going on here in the United States. Any in other words, a month is not like a week-long vacation. But is there like a hotline, or how do you communicate anything the parents need to be made aware if in case there's some political unrest in Milan? Like, how would that be communicated to the parents?
I'll pass this question along to either the program manager or the student life manager, because I feel like they would be more informed on this topic. So whichever of you two would like to answer this, please.
I could answer the part about demonstrations in Milan, if that's okay. Okay. So we have what we call ENS. ENS is an emergency notification system in place. Basically, what that does is sending a message to the student. So it's a message, it's a call, and it's an email. And we utilize that kind of system in situations when there is civil unrest. So if we know that some of our students are in a specific area of town, we notify them with direct instructions on where to go to stay safe. And so that's something that we do for all our programs, and that's something that we will be putting in place as well when we find out that there's demonstrations in the city center. We always want to make sure our students are safe, and so that's absolutely the first top priority. And on top of that, I would like to say as well that if the student does not respond to the first request for response by message, the student keeps receiving the phone call, right, until we actually know where the student is. So that is why for us it's very important that we have the correct phone numbers on file, so that we're not calling the parents back home, but we're actually calling the students on the program. So that is something that it's always our top priority. We always want to account for the students. The program leaders will be coordinating with us and will be helping us to locate students as well, if that ever was to be the case. So.
All right, thank you so much.
Great. And then I also dropped our safety and support reading in the chat, so you can, read more information about that in addition to Beatrice's response. And then Paul, do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself?
Yes, my question was, depending on where we are we allowed to use like the washing machine? Because I know we're going to be staying there for a month, so having a washing machine would help a lot when packing.
Can answer that. Now, all host families have washing machines, and all host families will be washing your clothes for you. Now, how you want to do that, you can work out with your family. Every family is different. But my general advice is to let the host family use the washing machine, and you just give them your clothes, mostly because you would not want to maybe, use it and break the washing machine. But that's, if you're a little bit particular about your clothing, you could always work it out with them and ask them how to use their washing machine. But laundry will be done once a week. And if you need laundry done more than that, you just, be open with the host family and see if you can work something out. I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you have any follow-ups.
All right. And then,
no, that answered my question.
All right.
All right, great.
Looks like we have another raised hand from Gabriella. Gabriella, if you'd like to unmute, please. I think you're still muted. Yes, there you go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm also standing in for Gabby, who's at a track meet today, and she couldn't attend. My question, I have actually two, is she's going to bring a phone. Is an iPad or a computer required for the program?
Yes, and that will be useful for them to do all their assignments related to their language learning experience. So they'll be using Canvas, they're going to be doing their journal. So yes, I would say bringing a personal device, either an iPad or a laptop, will be great. It will be very useful during the program. Yes.
Okay. And then I had another question right, but I've forgotten it. So if I remember it, then I will raise my hand again. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
And we have a question in the chat. Do homestay families have a home with shared bathrooms? Do they typically provide a bedroom with a single bathroom?
All right, that's another good question. All homestays will be different. We try to pair you with the right host family based on various variables. Some host families have shared bathrooms, others have singles, others have shared bathrooms with another HSSA student. So yeah, let's see, with a single yeah, that I hope that answers your question. If you have any follow-ups, once again, please feel free to ask.
All right, and it looks like we have another raised hand. If you'd like to go ahead and unmute, apologies if I don't pronounce your name correctly, Elm.
That's correct. Hi, I'm Tracy Helms. I'm actually Paul's mom. My question is for the bus pass, and then I might have just answered my question. The passes that they get for unlimited transportation, is that only for the bus, or does it get them on the other types of transit, public transit available?
No, it's for all the public transportation in Milan, so they can use it in the metro, the tram, and buses, all types of public transportation in Milan, yes.
Okay, great. And I think there's a question in the chat. What hotel would the students be staying at the night before they leave?
Yeah, I just provided that response.
Okay.
But
yes,
no
sorry.
worries. It is no worries. It is called Una Hotels. I could provide that name because it's confirmed, and it's actually kind of close by to the Malpensa airport. And we decided for that hotel specifically because, you know, it's very close to the airport the students will be traveling from. So we figured out, logistically speaking, it kind of made a lot of sense. And so yeah.
And let's see, Gabriella, if you'd like to go ahead and unmute for your question.
Sure. Again, yes, hi. So I was one of the parents who asked on behalf of my daughter the hotel that they'll be staying at, and I just got that answer. If you could please put it in the chat. And then will there be a possibility for the students to connect like via a WhatsApp chat group before they go, because they'll be coming from all different parts of the United States. And I know that we use WhatsApp at home a lot, and it's really easy to create a chat group, and then they could communicate with each other. But if that's not part of the protocol, I completely understand.
Would you all mind if I address this question? Okay, wonderful. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure.
So there is an open discussion board in every participant's Know Before You Go course, which is a really helpful course that's going to provide a lot of like pre-departure information that your student should, you know, review. So they can connect with other participants in that discussion board and ask each other questions there. In addition, a few days or a day or two before departures, program leaders will create a WhatsApp group for participants so that they can all connect with each other during their travel day. Yeah. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, and then we have Sophia with a raised hand. Sophia,
Yes.
if you'd like to come off mute, please.
It's Sophia's mom again. In terms of the Venice trip, is that also a stay at some sort of hotel? And can we have information about that hotel, where that is? Or is that in a host family environment as well, that they stay?
No, they're going to be two different hotels. So more information is going to be provided as well as we get closer to the start of the program. I could already say though, because they're also confirmed, for the first summer one session, it's going to be Don Orione Hotel. And for summer two, it's going to be Combo. But once again, we're going to be providing with more information also with the addresses and everything.
Great, thank you. And then,
Okay.
is there any restrictions or framework around, say, kids using like scooters or bikes? You know, tell me a little bit more. Is that something that you restrict for the program participants, or how does that work?
Or do you want to take this? You want me to take it? I'm happy.
Go first, Stephen.
The well, in the participant contracts that everyone signs, it states that no motorized vehicles of any sorts are allowed to be used. So the like the scooters or electric bikes, for example, would fit into that category. And then there is it's possible we will be doing like a biking activity, for example, as one of the activities we're doing, sort of cultural activities, because there are some nice bike paths and things in the city that go along the canals and that sort of thing. So there's some information about that also in the rules, the program participant contract terms and conditions. There's a section also about bike riding. There's even, I think, Laura, there's a document that speaks specifically about bike riding in there.
Yes, that's correct. Sorry, I was very focused on the chat just now. Yes, there in the application, your CIEE application, there is information and questions regarding your participants' bicycle skills, in addition to more information. So you can just navigate to your participants' application, and if there are any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to reach out to hsabroad@ciee.org.
Okay, thank you, super.
Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of interest regarding beach and pool visits. Would you all mind providing a little insight if you have any there? In terms of how often will they be going to the beach pool, or if that will be available to them?
I can start by answering what I know for homestays. A few of the homestays have expressed interest in taking students to the beach or to the lake with them. A couple of the homestays, this is very rare in Milan, but, a couple have pools. Maybe if you let them know that you would like to go to the pool or something on a Saturday, maybe they'll take you guys. But a lot of the homestays would like to also get out of Milan and show you guys new places. And so that could be a good time you could let them know, oh, I'd love to go to the beach. And, maybe that would be something that is doable for them as well.
Excellent, thanks so much. Alrighty, I think, well, great. Elms, if you'd like to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thank you. Oh wow, am I having a moment too? I'll come back to you guys. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, this is a great question from Abigail in the chat. Let's see. So my mother will be flying with me from my state to New York for the first part of getting to Milan. Will there be any staff I will meet in New York? Yes, as long as you are booked for a chaperone flight through Flightbox, there will be a CIEE staff member or program leader at that gateway airport to be the chaperone on your student's flight. They're not going to be meeting students at each individual terminal, but they will be at the terminal where the flight will depart from. Okay. I'm hoping that I got all the questions that were in the chat, but please go ahead and raise your hand if I missed anything.
I'm sorry, this is Tracy. I remembered my question real quick.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. My question was related to the homestay families. What is the process for them being introduced? Is that any of that gonna happen prior to them arriving there? Like, what can we expect with that?
All right, so I provide both the families and the students with information about each other and contact information so that they can contact each other. about a week prior to the student's arrival on site. And after that, it's kind of up to each family and each student how much they want to communicate before the student arrives. Sometimes the students are a little uncomfortable getting to know the family like before they even see them. Sometimes, you know, the families are very happy and, you know, very excited to meet the student before and will suggest, you know, you have a FaceTime call beforehand. Just yesterday, just a couple of days ago, I met with a family that expressed interest in, you know, FaceTiming before the student got there. So it really varies based on each family, but and each student, of course. So feel free to contact the families. They're all very excited to meet you guys. And yeah, it really is. It depends on you guys.
Excellent. Let's see. There's one question, if anyone has suggestions based on their personal travel. Do you suggest we bring hard shell suitcases or duffel bags?
I would say whichever works best for you. I find duffel bags better only because I've had the bad experience of having hard shell suitcase broken once when I took a flight. So I learned my lesson from that and moved to duffel bags from there. But it's up to you. Say whichever can fit more stuff in.
Yeah, I would say that's great advice. I also like how malleable duffel bags are. Yeah, absolutely. Good for small spaces.
Just remember you have to carry the duffel bag, so don't put too much in there.
That's true too. Maybe a rollable duffel bag. That exists, right? It has to. Okay, great. I see another raised hand. Crystal, if you'd like to unmute. We have a few more minutes, so we can take a few more questions here.
Hi, I'm just curious. My mom is going to be dropping me off at Milan, so I'd like to know where we will all meet collectively on the 9th. Like, I know that you guys were answering and you guys said the airport, but like she will be with me a few days in advance. And like she just wants to know where to drop me off the day of the 9th. Like so that I could just stay with you guys on the day of the 9th and like forward.
Yeah, of course. Really good question. So as of right now, so more information is going to be provided prior to departure. So we'll absolutely make sure that you have that information in your mailbox and so you know exactly where to meet the rest of the group. As of right now, but then once again, I would check again at closer to the dates and your emails. There's going to be more arrival information coming with very detailed information about what that's going to look like, who is going to pick you up, who's going to be there, and names of the staff members present. But as of right now, I would say definitely Malpensa Airport for sure, but it's going to be Terminal 1 as of right now. So we're going to have a private bus. There's going to be 2 different meeting times. And we're going to be having sort of like a shuttle service bringing you from the Malpensa Airport to the hotel. And CIE staff is going to be very clearly recognizable with the CIE t-shirts. But then once again, I would say just check back again a few weeks prior to your departure.
Perfect, thank you. I'm just okay,
No.
but that would have to do with sorry, this is another question. That would have to do with dropping me off the day prior then. So like the 8th. So that would be the 8th she would drop me off at the airport and then we'd go to the hotel? Or is that just
So Stephen, would you mind answering that one?
Yeah, so well, as Beatrice was saying, you will be receiving detailed instructions about arrival, but if there's an arrival that is happening outside of the prescribed arrival time that we say window and meeting place and all of that, then there'll be instructions on what to do exactly. But program participants should be arriving on the same arrival. Everyone should arrive on the same day, the arrival day, because we'll also be doing orientation activities that first day and doing an important check-in when everyone arrives and giving you check-in materials and that sort of thing. So it's really important that you're there when everyone's arriving, basically during that arrival window. So
okay, thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Great, thanks, Stephen. And Nicholas, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, please. See if you saw the question.
My questions have been answered. Thank you.
Oh, great. Perfect. Sorry. Thanks. Okay, wonderful. Does anybody else? We could probably take maybe 1 or 2 more questions before we hit 2:30. And then any other questions you may have can be sent to hsabroad@ciee.org. Great. So Christopher, how will the language classes be structured? Will there be different classes for different levels?
Okay, yes, I can answer that. So the classes are gonna be taking place during the morning. It's gonna be a 3-hour class from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then after that, there's gonna be the community conversation activities that you're gonna do and with your program leaders. There's gonna be different levels, so you're gonna be split in different classes according to your level. You have taken a STEM test to assess your proficiency level, but there's also gonna be an oral placement test that you'll be taking with your instructors on day 2 of orientation, so before classes begin. And there's gonna be a few days after that to make sure that you're placed in the right class. So if there's anything that needs to be changed, that can still happen during week 1 of the program.
Great.
There's a follow-up question that's related about how many students in each section. Oh, so this is about session. It's about session. Okay, so the overall, Angela, maybe you could say what the class size is anyway, but the overall, there are 23 students in the first session and 41 in the second session.
And classes are gonna have up to 16 students in them, but usually it's less.
Perfect. And we'll take this one last question from Jaqueens. If you'd like to go ahead and take yourself off mute.
Okay. Could you guys repeat the name of the hotel could you guys repeat the name of the hotel?
The name of the hotel on day 1 or the last day of the program?
Both.
Both? Okay, sure. So the hotel for arrival day, it's called Glam Hotel. I could also put it in the chat for you all if you're interested. And that is located right around the Centrale train station in Milan. So it's extremely centrally located. And then the hotel for the last day on the program is called Una Hotels. And it's right around the Malpensa Airport.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay, and with that, I just went ahead and dropped the HS Abroad email in the chat. If you all have any additional questions, please feel free to email us. And then don't forget to email the Milan team in regards to needing either an eSIM or a SIM card for your phone, okay? Does anybody else on the Milan team want to say anything before we end the meeting? Yeah, you've said enough. Yes, I hear you. All right, well.
I could say it was great. Thanks to everyone for sharing what you're excited about for the summer. That was really wonderful to see all of that. Some great things that everyone's looking forward to, and we are all very much looking forward to having you here. And I think it's going to be a great summer session for each of the groups. So thanks for joining us this evening. Well, this afternoon for you. We're 6 hours ahead here from the East Coast. So yeah,
I'm good.
It's Italian dinner time now.
True.
Well, thanks, everyone. Yeah, have a great Saturday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. See you soon.
Did the recording be stopped? No.
Yes, sorry. Let me do that. I was removing folks from the meeting.
No problem.
Um,
I just feel a little observed.